Here's something that probably sounds obvious, but most people completely ignore. If you actually want to build wealth, if you want to reach a point where money isn't constantly stressing you out and you have real financial freedom, you're going to have to give up some things. Not forever, but at least for a while. And this is the part people hate hearing because they want to have it all right now. They want to be wealthy and have the lifestyle of someone who's already wealthy, which doesn't actually work. My name is Ivan, and I spend way too much time thinking about wealth building, financial psychology, and why some people seem to effortlessly build wealth while others work their entire lives and have nothing to show for it. If you're serious about building wealth and want to understand what it actually costs, make sure to hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up if it ends up helping you see money differently. Think about trade-offs. Everything has a cost. You want abs, you sacrifice pizza. You want good grades, you sacrifice Netflix marathons. But with wealth, people pretend the sacrifice doesn't exist. They want the outcome without the input. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what you're trading today for freedom tomorrow and whether you're actually willing to make those trades. Sacrifice 1 is your current lifestyle. If you're currently spending everything you earn, if your paycheck comes in and it all goes out to rent and food and car payments and subscriptions and dining out, then you're not building wealth, you're treading water. To build wealth, you have to spend less than you earn and invest the difference. That's it. That's literally the foundation of every single person who's ever built substantial wealth. Here's the part that makes people uncomfortable. Spending less than you earn usually means your current lifestyle has to change. Maybe driving a used car instead of financing a new one. Maybe cooking at home instead of eating out multiple times a week. Maybe a smaller apartment in a less trendy neighborhood. Most people are living at 95% of their income and wondering why they can't get ahead. You can't have everything right now. You have to choose. Do you want the lifestyle today or freedom later? Because you literally cannot have both. This is the sacrifice that separates people who build wealth from everyone else. Most people choose the lifestyle today without even realizing they're making that choice. They just keep spending and wondering why they never get ahead. The funny thing is, this doesn't have to be permanent. You're not sacrificing your lifestyle forever. Maybe 5 years, maybe 10 while you build that foundation. Once you've got substantial wealth accumulated, once your investments generate enough income, then you can upgrade. But in the wealth building phase, you can't have both. You have to pick one. Sacrifice 2 is convenience, and I mean all of it. The convenience of ordering food instead of cooking, paying someone to clean your house, subscription services and delivery fees and premium options. All of this convenience is incredibly expensive when you add it up. Look at your spending for the last month and be honest about how much you're paying for convenience. You're probably shocked. There's the food delivery. That $20 order becomes $35 when you add fees and tip. Do that 3 or 4 times a week and that's over $500 a month just for the convenience of not cooking. Then there's cleaning service, laundry service, grocery delivery, rushed shipping because you need something today instead of waiting. All of these save you time, sure, but they're costing you serious money. Here's what most people don't realize. If you're trying to build wealth and paying for maximum convenience, you're fighting against yourself. You can't do both. Oh, time is valuable, absolutely, but so is money. And when you're not yet wealthy, money has to take priority. You sacrifice convenience in favor of building the foundation that gives you real freedom later. The person who cooks at home instead of getting delivery, who does their own laundry, who plans their grocery shopping is making a choice. They're giving up convenience today to buy freedom tomorrow. This doesn't have to be permanent. Once you've built real wealth, you can absolutely pay for convenience. But in the wealth building phase, it's a necessary sacrifice. You do the work yourself. You save the money, you invest the difference. That's how it works. Sacrifice 3 is immediate gratification. This is huge because it's so ingrained in how we live now. Everything is designed to be instant. You want something, you order it. You see something cool, you buy it. You think of a vacation, you book it. This entire culture of immediate gratification is one of the biggest barriers to wealth building. If you want to be wealthy, you have to be willing to delay gratification. This is such a basic concept, but incredibly hard to actually do because every single system around you is designed to make you buy things immediately. Companies have literally figured out how to make instant gratification the default. Amazon can deliver in 2 hours. Restaurants bring food to your door. You can book a vacation in 30 seconds. The friction for spending money has been eliminated. The friction for saving money hasn't. So you have to manually create that friction. You have to force yourself to wait. You see something you want and instead of buying immediately, you wait. Give it 30 days, and if you still want it after 30 days, then think about whether it fits into your wealth building plan. Usually, you won't still want it, or you'll realize you don't actually need it. The wanting passes. The person who's willing to delay gratification while everyone else is buying constantly is going to be in a completely different financial position in 10 years. That restraint is a skill worth more than any investment strategy, because no investment strategy works if you're constantly pulling money out to buy things you don't need. Wealthy people aren't wealthy because they make more money. They're wealthy because they're willing to wait. They're comfortable with delayed gratification for as long as it takes. Most people aren't, and that's the real difference. Sacrifice 4 is status spending. This one is probably the most insidious because it's so disguised. Status spending is when you buy things, not because you need them or even really want them, but because you want people to think you're successful. The designer handbag you can't really afford, but everyone will see. The luxury car you're financing, even though it's destroying your finances. The expensive watch that does the same thing as a $50 watch. Designer clothes that cost 5 times as much as basically identical clothes from a regular store. All of this is just trying to project an image of wealth to people who honestly don't care. Here's what's so backwards about status spending. Actual wealthy people rarely do this. They don't need to prove anything to anyone. It's people who aren't wealthy but want to look wealthy who fall into this trap. And it's a trap because it's financial self-sabotage. You're spending money you don't have to look rich to people who don't matter while you're actually getting poor. You're going into debt to buy status symbols. You're destroying your financial future to impress people who barely know your name. If you want to build wealth, you have to give up this need to look successful. You have to be comfortable with people not knowing how much money you have. You have to be okay driving the used Honda while your neighbor drives the brand new BMW. You have to be okay wearing clothes from a regular store while coworkers wear designer brands. You have to be okay not having the things that make you look rich. This is a psychological sacrifice because it requires you to not care what other people think. Most people find that incredibly difficult, but it's absolutely necessary if you want to build real wealth. Every dollar you spend on status is a dollar that's not compounding into wealth. Every designer brand purchase is money that could have been invested. Every luxury item is opportunity cost. The math is simple. You can either look rich or be rich. For most people in the wealth building phase, you can't do both. Choose wealth. Sacrifice 5 is the illusion of choice. When you're building wealth, you have to get very intentional about your money. That means no more mindlessly browsing and buying, no more subscription services you don't use, no more options just because they're available. You have to ruthlessly cut everything that doesn't serve your financial goals. This means choosing one phone and keeping it for 5 years instead of upgrading every 2. It means choosing one streaming service instead of having 7 you barely use. It means choosing to buy generic instead of name brand. It means choosing to do things yourself instead of paying someone else. Most people hate this because they like having options. They like the freedom of choice. They like being able to browse and pick whatever sounds best in the moment. Here's the reality. Every option costs money. Every choice point is an opportunity to spend money you don't have to spend. Every time you're deciding between multiple options, you're burning mental energy and often buying something you don't need. The person who makes one intentional choice and sticks with it is going to have way more money than the person who's constantly choosing between options and upgrading or switching around. Think about how much money people spend just trying different things. Different phone plans, different internet providers, different gyms, different apps. They're constantly switching, looking for the perfect option. Meanwhile, the person who just picked something reasonable and stuck with it has saved thousands because they're not constantly switching and starting over. This is actually liberating once you accept it. You're not less free because you have fewer choices. You're actually more free because you're not wasting mental energy and money on constant decisions. You pick what makes sense for your financial goals and you move on. That's a sacrifice. Giving up the illusion that more options equals more freedom. Actually, fewer options equals more money, which actually does equal more freedom. Sacrifice 6 is comparison. You're probably doing this right now without realizing it. You're looking at other people's lives and measuring yours against theirs. That friend who travels all the time and posts vacation photos from exotic locations. That coworker who has the nice apartment in the trendy neighborhood. That person on social media who seems to have their life completely figured out. And you feel behind. You feel like you should be further along. You feel like you're failing somehow. This comparison is incredibly destructive to wealth building because it makes you spend money you don't have. You see someone else's lifestyle and you want that for yourself immediately. So you put things on credit cards, you take on debt, you stop saving, you buy things you can't afford just to keep up. All because you're comparing your beginning to someone else's middle or end. Here's what nobody talks about. That person posting vacation photos from Finland probably has no savings. They're likely in debt. They're spending money they don't have to create the appearance of having a perfect life. That coworker with the nice apartment is probably stressed about making rent. The person who seems to have it all figured out is probably living paycheck to paycheck or worse. You have literally no idea what anyone else's financial situation actually is. They're not showing you their credit card statements. They're not showing you their debt. They're showing you the highlight reel, and frankly, it doesn't matter what their situation is anyway. The only comparison that matters is comparing yourself to yourself. Are you better than you were a year ago? Are you saving more? Are you making smarter financial decisions? Are you closer to your wealth building goals? That's the only comparison that counts. If you want to build wealth, you have to give up constant comparison to other people. You have to stop looking at other people's highlight reels and thinking that's reality. You have to get comfortable with the fact that your wealth building journey might not look like anyone else's. Your journey might be boring. You might be driving an old car while others drive new ones. You might be cooking at home while others are traveling. That's okay. That's the path to wealth. Most people can't do this. They stay stuck in comparison mode, constantly trying to keep up with people they don't actually know and never build real wealth because of it. Sacrifice 7 is quick wins. Most people want to build wealth as fast as possible, so they look for quick wins. They get excited about some investment that's supposed to double their money. They want to find the secret to building wealth fast. They're attracted to cryptocurrency or meme stocks or some business opportunity that sounds like it could make them rich overnight. Here's the reality. Building real wealth isn't fast. It's boring. It's incredibly boring, actually. It's saving $500 a month for 30 years. It's investing in low-cost index funds and letting them sit and not checking the account every 5 minutes. It's not exciting. There are no quick wins. And if you're waiting for quick wins, if you're constantly looking for some opportunity that's going to make you rich overnight, you're actually going to stay poor because you'll spend your time and money chasing things that don't work instead of doing the boring stuff that actually does work. Think about how much time people waste trying to find the next big investment opportunity. They read blogs, they watch videos, they join Discord communities, they obsess over some penny stock or some new token. Meanwhile, the person who just invested in boring index funds and forgot about it is building real wealth while everyone else is playing around with excitement that leads nowhere. This is the sacrifice that separates people who actually build wealth from people who are always looking for the shortcut. You have to give up the idea that this should happen quickly. You have to accept that real wealth takes decades, and once you accept that, everything becomes easier because you stop wasting energy on quick wins that never materialize. You can make these sacrifices now so that 10 or 15 or 20 years from now, you're in a completely different situation. That choice is yours. The question is whether you're willing to make the sacrifices that actually matter.